What's up, everybody? Remington from Impulse Creative, and today I get to talk about a feature that's kind of fun, especially for larger companies using Drift, and that is the ability to only show the chat bubble in the bottom right if someone is targeted and or has had a conversation with your bot before. So there's a lot of different ways that you can utilize Drift in order to get more engagement. But in a lot of cases, especially with clients who have larger traffic, you don't want the Drift chat bubble to show up on all pages. You may only want it to target on certain pages, and then of course, be only there for qualified traffic. Now there's a couple different ways that you can identify that traffic with segments and then of course playbook targeting. But for instance, you may only want it on those high intent pages. And especially when deploying your Drift instance in the first place, you want to make sure that sales is getting the most qualified people that are coming through via support or chat. In order to do that the right way, Drift has a feature where you can turn off the chat widget icon to a point where it only will show up when a targeted playbook is in effect. Once you get into the Drift account, what you're going to need to do is navigate over to your settings, go to app settings, and then choose chat widget. Now, when you're at the chat widget section, you're going to have an option for display the chat widget icon. In order to get access to the more targeted feature, what you have to do is you have to turn this feature off. Upon turning it off, you will see a drop down that drops in here, except if there is chat history. And what you can do is you can turn on that feature, and that's going to make it so that any previous conversations you've had from people with targeted messaging or any targeting that you have that are one-on-one with certain playbooks, it's going to show it to the more qualified and targeted individuals. Again, this can be a couple really great ways of getting more targeted people to your sales team without all the noise and the minutia of contacts that might just be in research mode on your blog. So a couple use cases in how this could be useful. One, you've got a high trafficked blog, but you only want to have your Drift playbooks deploying on pages that have higher intent, like your pricing pages or your services pages. Another area is you might want to utilize the ability to have Drift links in your blog, but you don't want the chat widget to be there on all pages of those blogs and those articles. So you may not necessarily have that chat widget unless people subscribe or are known to the system in the first place. And then finally, you can also target this on multiple websites. So let's say that you have websites that are going after a certain area. If you have sub-brands, you can make it so the chat widget doesn't show up unless, again, someone is more targeted or you have specific targeting for your playbooks or your availability. And this can work really well if you're targeting ABM playbooks or account-based marketing kind of contacts that are coming to the website. So enabling not to have the widget open for everyone, but then making it so that it is available to people who are qualified, is going to make it so sales has much less friction in dealing with contacts on a day-to-day basis. Happier sales means more increased sales and attention from the sales team, which means that your overall Drift implementation is going to be smoother. So that's it for today's tutorial. If you have any questions about conversational marketing or Drift or deploying it in your organization, please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at RemingtonBag, by email remington@impulsecreative.com, or you can just hit me up in the comments below and I'll be happy to help you out. If you'd like to see some other tutorials we've done, you can go ahead and you can do that right here. And if you would like to subscribe to our daily tutorials, go ahead and do that right here. But until next time, I'm Remington from Impulse Creative. Have a great day.